What's up you guys, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be absolutely nothing like any of my other videos, so if you were hoping for a fun, upbeat, creative video like I try to put out every Sunday, this isn't that. If that is what you were expecting, I'm sorry. I have so many others that you can go watch, but this is a video that I feel like I need to make today. And no other video feels right for me to make today, and I will explain why in a second. But today I want to just talk to you guys about anxiety and my experience with it, I guess. I have gotten so many messages, comments, tweets from you guys asking me to make a video going more in depth about my anxiety, because I know I've mentioned lots of times on my channel, sorry, my hair's like just a mess, but I know I've mentioned on my channel that I have anxiety, but I've never really gone into detail about it, and I've gotten so many, of you guys reaching out to me and saying that you also struggle with anxiety and you'd love to hear me talk about it more, and I've wanted to make that video, but I never knew how to. Like, I didn't really know what to say or when would be the right time to make it, but I think that now is the right time for me, because this past week or so, I have been experiencing a very intense episode of anxiety. Literally panic attacks every day, not really eating for the past week because I've been too anxious and it makes me nauseous, being extremely tired all the time because my body is just exhausted from not eating and from having panic attacks every day, just not being able to focus. And when I was trying to figure out what to do for this week's video, because I really try my very hardest to get a video up every single week for you guys, I've been doing it consistently for months. I want to put out content for you guys, but I genuinely could not think of a video that I wanted to film for this week. I didn't have any like creative inspiration. It's Wednesday at this point, so typically I'll film like over the weekend or on Monday so I can put myself in a good position, but it's Wednesday and I've just been so overwhelmed and feeling so absolutely out of it. I have no motivation or creativity right now. It's because of this time that I'm going through with my anxiety. So I felt like the only video that I could film today is this one. And a lot of you guys see me as like a big sister or like a mom or something, and I feel like I wouldn't be a good one if I didn't talk about this to you guys, because another thing that sparked me wanting to just sit down right now and do this is I was at school earlier and I had a conversation with one of my friends, and she understands what I'm going through because she struggles with anxiety as well. And I just remembered how good it feels to talk to somebody about it that understands, and I know that finding people who truly understand how you are feeling is hard. If anyone out there watching this right now feels that way and feels that nobody that they know understands how they're feeling and they feel like they don't have anybody to turn to, I want you to know that you have me to turn to, and that's why I'm making this video. If I even help or touch one person and literally make one person, realize that they're not alone, then that will fulfill my purpose for making this video. I genuinely have this platform that I'm so beyond grateful and mind blown that I have, and I need to use it for this right now. So that's a really long-winded way of saying that I'm going to be talking about anxiety today. This is going to be very real. I don't have like a plan or anything. I don't have notes. I don't have like a sequence of things I want to talk about. Usually for my videos I'm very put together, or at least I try to be, and I have like a list of points I want to hit. I don't today, so this video could be very rambly, but please bear with me. I'm just going to talk about things as I think of them. Alright, without further ado, let's get on into this video. So I would say that my anxiety started when I was in 7th grade. 7th grade is probably the first time that I felt something that I now identify as a panic attack, and I would have them frequently, like on my way to school, in the morning, on the bus. That is also when I realized that I suffer from what I now know as social anxiety. So I guess I should, okay, so 7th grade was like the first time that I really felt that. I want to say that I was around 12-ish and I would have panic attacks on the way to school. So basically what a panic attack consists of for me, it has been this way since the start, the exact same. I feel like I can't breathe. I shake, I get very nauseous to the point, like I said earlier, where I don't eat, and if it gets bad enough, I will throw up. Literally anywhere I am, I will throw up. That is the worst part of it for me, because I know that as soon as especially in social situations, I know that I'm gonna get anxiety in that situation, and then I get anxiety about getting anxiety, and then I get anxiety about throwing up because of my anxiety, and then I throw up. And I just feel so embarrassed about it, and I don't. It's like, how do you say to somebody like, excuse me, I have to go throw up now because I'm anxious and scared and worried about literally no idea what I'm scared about, but I'm gonna go throw up. See you guys. yeah, so I don't remember throwing up at school when I was in middle school because of anxiety, but I did throw up quite often in high school from panic attacks. I remember the first time, I think this might have been the first time. There were so many times, I just really remember the first and last, but the first time was my freshman year. I threw up in homeroom because I met a new boy that I liked and it triggered my social anxiety, and just my anxiety was heightened because I was in school and I was around people, and when I feel like I'm having a panic attack and I'm around other people, my anxiety about throwing up goes up because I don't want to throw up in front of people. Like, who really does? It just piled and piled and piled and snowballed, and I threw up in homeroom in front of everybody. I threw up in the trash can, so at least that's a good thing. Made it to the trash can, but yeah, so they've pretty much been consistently those symptoms since the start. Anyway, so I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, I want to say in high school. That is the first time that I actually went to someone about it, and I was put on medication. So I have tried a few different medications over the years. I'm currently on a daily one now, and I also have another one that I take as needed for panic attacks, which I don't experience panic attacks like every day. This isn't normal for me. Like, this phase I'm in right now is not normal for me, but I have certain triggers. I did experience one of those last week, and I have been in a state of panic ever since. So, okay, where do I want to go now? So I've suffered from the just general anxiety disorder and pretty heavy social anxiety since like I was 12. I also suffer from OCD, and that started when I was in high school. I know OCD can take so many different forms, and my form, personally, I have to do things like a certain amount of times. I feel like that's a pretty typical one, like having some type of ritual or something that you have to do to get rid of an anxious thought. I remember it got really, really bad. I want to say like tail end of high school and then my first 2 years of college. So bad. I would have to like knock on wood 3 times. Everything was in 3s. Not only that, I had to make sure everything was straight. The 3s thing came up a lot. If I was like just, for example, drinking a bottle of water, I would have to take 3 gulps. That's it. Like, it was insane. Like, and basically something very bad was going to happen to me or somebody that I love. Basically what my anxiety would be telling me is that if I do not do like whatever ritual I had, then that thing was going to happen to me. And to me, doing the ritual or whatever the hell it was, like my compulsion, doing that was a better thing to do than to actually worry about that thing happening to me. And my brain just associated, okay, if you do this, it's not gonna happen, which, like, hindsight, that's just bullshit. Like, me, like, knocking on wood is not gonna stop any bad thing from happening to me, but that is just what your anxiety, your OCD tells you. Like, if you're not having an episode of it, you're more like clear-minded, you can say to yourself like, this makes absolutely no sense, but in the moment it is so terrifying, just the thought of that thing happening to you, that it's like you have to, like, I had to do it. So that's that. I think I've gone to like 5 different like therapists, and I didn't really connect with them, and it's frustrating because I want to, you know, try again, but it also is hard because then I have to re-explain like my entire life story to that person and like why I have the anxiety that I have, and like I don't want to have to go through that over and over and over again until I find like a person who I actually click with. I'm here talking to a camera, and that's going to be my therapy session. I feel like talking about this right now is going to help me because I have just been feeling bottled up, especially for the past week. Another thing about anxiety is that if you talk about it to someone who doesn't truly understand, like, it's so hard to understand the feeling of having a panic attack or just having anxiety or just any of that if you don't experience it yourself. Like, you just do not truly understand the depths of like literal misery that someone feels when they are suffering with anxiety disorder. And I do try and talk to people about it, but I get responses that this happens all the time, and people really do try to help or just to be like a voice of reason for me and just be like, try and calm me and center me and be like, hey, like, it's okay, you know, this isn't real. But if you don't experience anxiety, if you don't know what it feels like, you don't get that it is not okay. And people will say to me like, oh, what are you worried about? Stop worrying. Don't worry about it. Breathe. I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. I don't know what I'm worrying about. I don't know how to stop it. And I cannot just not worry about things. I don't know why I'm worrying. If I knew why, if I could answer your question of what are you worried about, I wouldn't be worried about it. And it's like, people have good intentions. Nobody is trying to make me feel like bad, or like people are trying to help, but it's like, it's so hard when someone doesn't completely understand the feeling. That is why I'm making this right now and I'm talking to you guys, because honestly, the amount of people that I've actually encountered in my life that do fully understand how I feel, I would say probably like 3 max. But there are some people that I'll talk to and they genuinely make me feel like I'm insane, and I'm like, listen, this is a real issue, lots of people deal with it, and it's people like you who are why no one likes to talk about it because you make me feel like I'm nuts. It's really not that bad. Like, you can go out and do things. You don't have to worry. You don't have to, like, why do you have anxiety? Like, there's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong. I know! And if you're watching this and you don't suffer from anxiety and somebody approaches you, someone in your life, and they try and talk to you about this, don't say that to them. Just listen. Just assure them that you're here for them. Don't try and tell them like, oh, you don't need to be worried about it. And yes, I know that there are ways to cope, okay? Talking to people about it that do understand you is one of my ways to cope. Other ways that I like to cope when I'm having a really bad, you know, day of anxiety or even a panic attack, I sit in my room by myself, which I do most of the time anyways, and I listen to music. Music is probably my #1 favorite thing to do. I know that there are certain songs that when I listen to them, they make me happy, and other songs that I just really relate to the lyrics. Music is so powerful for me, and it's always been that way. If I didn't have music, I don't know what the hell I would do. I really don't. Some other things that you could try to do, especially if you don't feel like you have anybody listening to you and that you don't have anybody who understands what you're going through. I've started journaling. I'm not very great at consistency, but when I talk out loud or when I text someone and vent or write in a journal, it just getting it off of my chest and like putting it out there and feeling like it's not just, you know, weighing on me anymore. Like I have like kind of released it by putting it out into the universe. It makes me feel better. And I mean, no, it's not gonna cure my anxiety, but like honestly, it's about finding ways to make it manageable and make your daily life easier. This is such a real problem, and I am so freaking happy that I have my platform that I'm talking to you guys on right now, and that mental health is something that we're talking about more. Basically, what I want to say to you guys is if you related to anything that I said in this video, or you feel like you suffer from anxiety or any other mental health problem, don't feel ashamed. It's something that so many more people are going through than you probably would think. Even if you feel like there's absolutely nobody in the world that relates to you and that feels the way that you feel, know that we all have our problems. I put myself on the internet. I'm somebody who lives with very severe anxiety. I feel like a lot of people, like there's this perceived notion that people who are YouTubers or have a lot of followers or whatever just have these perfect lives and they have nothing wrong with them. And because you try and put your best self on social media, like you want to portray yourself the best that you can and just make yourself, make it look like you're always having fun. And honestly, that is becoming less and less important to me. I've always tried to be very genuine and real with you guys. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that my life is not perfect and I am not perfect. The people that you watch on YouTube or that you follow on Instagram and you look at them and you think like, wow, their lives must be perfect. Most, if not all people are fighting some battle in their life that you know nothing about. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. I've been talking for a while and I feel better. I really hope this video makes it to the internet. If not, I don't know, whatever. But I hope it does. Anyway, so that's it. That's all I wanted to say, I think. Just please know that you're not alone. You're not. You're 100% not. We're all struggling with something, and if you relate to what I'm struggling with, hey, I understand you. I do. And don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you're the only person in the world struggling with something, because you're not. Like I said, my goal was really just to help at least one person, and I really hope I did that. So that's it for today's video. I'm really hungry. I'm gonna go make myself some lunch. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you stayed until this point in the video, comment down below. I'm a real one because you are a real one. You're the realest ever. Subscribe if you want to. New video every Sunday, and I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.